One of the most common issues I hear when coaching newer players is that they struggle to play with platforms. Platforms can certainly get in the way of inexperienced players, but even at higher level there are some simple platform optimizations missing from many players' gameplay. I'm G5 Cosmos, and I'm going to show you a few things you can practice to make sure your platform game is on point. The first is the most obvious. Actually play on platform stages. When low-level players tell me they struggle with platforms, very often they'll also mention that they only play on Final Destination with friends. You've got to play on platforms to get used to them. Anyway, moving on, the next thing to practice is the landing platform drop tech, also known as Isaiah dropping in Melee, and sometimes Void dropping in Smash 4. When you land on a platform with an action of any kind, holding down will force you to crouch rather than drop through the platform, so many players will land and then run off the edge of the platform to get below it. This is sometimes a good option, but generally wastes time and sacrifices positioning options. Instead, you can do a quarter circle input from forward to down after you land. This will buffer a short walk forward, which is immediately cancelled by a platform drop. You can even turn around with this technique. The next technique doesn't have a name that I know of, so let's call it platform ghosting. If you're holding down on the control stick, regardless of whether you fast fall or not, your character will not land on a platform and instead pass through it completely, unless you're in the middle of an animation. Platforms can get in your way when you want to space aerials on an opponent underneath them from above, but you can solve this by holding down and inputting your aerial as soon as you pass through the platform. The timing can be a bit tricky, but that's what training mode is for. It's also important to note that you can pressure opponents under platforms by simply short hopping towards them. Last but not least, learn to empty fast fall onto a platform. Since holding down will force you to pass through, timing a fast fall onto a platform requires you to let go of the fast fall input before you hit the ground. Doing this is good for general movement as well as mix-ups such as tomahawk grabbing. And that's it! Practicing these techniques will definitely improve your platform game. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to Game 5 Smash for plenty more videos like this!